You know what's funny to me? People asking me, Javid, why do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Why do you go to the gym so often? Why do you have such strict routines of what you do and what you don't do? And what's funny about that is that I ask myself, why are these people asking themselves this question rather than asking themselves the question of, why am I waking up that early? Why am I giving it my all? You see, I cannot relate to people who do not take their goals and their life seriously. We have extremely limited time on this earth. We have extremely limited resources, energy, focus. And I cannot understand how somebody cannot be willing to try to get the best out of themselves, try to create the best version of themselves, try to maximize every day, because there is so much potential inside of us. Because there is so much potential inside of us. The potential is that much that most people can't even see it, or focusing on that and actually giving that some thought would make them extremely uncomfortable, because they would realize that whatever they're doing, they're not doing enough. They are lacking behind very, very, very far. And they're resting on whatever achievements they've made in their life so far. Look, I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. I'm not saying, don't take any time off, don't have fun or whatever, or don't sleep in one day. But what I'm saying is, if your default mode is, I'm gonna chill, if your default mode is, I don't need routines, if your default mode is, I don't give it my all, I always give it like 90%, and if whatever you're doing in your everyday life is what 99% of people are doing, you are not gonna achieve exceptional results. That's just facts, right? You might stick to what everybody's doing and tell yourself, it's hard to wake up early, why should I wake up early, I have enough hours in the day. But we both know the amount of time that you spend on social media, the 3, 4, 5, 6 hours every day. If you would take half of that time, you can do the math, hundreds of hours every year, and spend them on something productive, learning a language, building a business, building a skill set which you need. In the amount of like 3, 4, 5 years, you would surpass all of your peers. But why do people not do that? And that's a second very interesting point, which I don't understand. People nowadays, they have a very eroded, let's say, standard of morality, a very eroded sense of needing to move, needing to take action. And I think that is because there's an information overflow. There's so much information overflow that we get kind of numbed by it. Right? We know things are wrong, which we're hearing. We know we might be doing things wrong, but we're just like, yeah, but it's just so hard to change stuff, and it's going to be fine anyway. And why be so hard? Because that's the narrative which is being, told in society. And if you listen to that narrative, you're going to become a very weak person. I wake up in the mornings because I want to train my discipline. I want to train my mind to do what I tell it to do, not what feels right for it in the moment. I want to do the right things and not the easy things. Because I know hard times might be ahead. I know there are things in my life which will come, which will actually challenge me. And I want to be ready for those times. It's a very stoic philosophy, which I follow, but I can very much encourage you to do the same thing. I can encourage you to escape the comfort zone and become hard. Take those cold showers, wake up early, journal, read, do whatever you can, because you're not noticing it, but you're lacking 1% every day. And over a couple of years, you get to a point where you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't really like this person anymore. I don't like my physique. I don't like how I've intellectually, my intellectual progress. I've not put enough time to that. I've not worked on myself. And this all goes hand in hand with your goals and how you see yourself and where you want to be in life and stuff like that. I know that, right? But it comes back to the question of, how can you expect so little of yourself? And that's a very uncomfortable question, I know that. But you should ask yourself that question, right? And stop telling yourself, I could if I wanted to. You can only say, I could if I wanted to, if you've actually done that in the past and done it for an extensive period of time where you actually know you have the ability to do it. But most people nowadays, if I would challenge them and tell them, look, 5 a.m. club, get up every morning, even in winter, they'd be like, yeah, I could if I had to. Yeah, but it's not about that. It's not about having a boss telling you now you have to and now you're going to do it. It's about being the boss of yourself, about controlling your own mind. That's the very important thing about it. It has so many benefits. It gives you certainty. It gives you clarity about where you're going, about also the results you're going to achieve. And that gives you ease in your everyday life. It doesn't make you anxious, right? It only makes you anxious when you feel you have no control. You know, what stresses you? When you have no control over the circumstance, when like things are happening. Life's happening to me, not for me. And you want to break out of that. You want to break out of that matrix, right? So I can encourage you today, ask yourself the right questions, implement the right rituals, become a strong person, have a strong mind, think clearly, think critically, right? Tell yourself that you can do it and stop looking to what 99% of the people are doing. If you do what 99% of the people do, you are not gonna get ahead in life.